All right, back again. So today I want to talk about how we live in the land of the Walking Dead, right? So in, I don't know, not so ancient India, I think this probably took place in, let's call it biblical times, a couple thousand years ago maybe. So there was this guru, right, that learned from his guru or whatever, what have you. I think maybe he may have been a yogi as well, something like that. Anyways, he had a deity that he worshipped, and he was able to take something dead, okay, so like a bird or whatever, and do his little thing, whatever it was, and he could make that thing, that animal, live the rest of its life. Now, I want to say that maybe he could make something get up and fly around for like maybe an hour or something like that. But he said that it was possible, right? And this information was lost or whatever. It was possible to do that with a human and make them to where they could finish out the rest of their life. Okay. Now, so what's happening here? As far how does that translate to now? All right. So what's happened is the people of this negative energy. Okay, call it the devil, reptilian, whatever. They're fourth dimensional spiritual entities. It's your lower self, right? So once they get you to kill yourself or something like that, willingly put yourself in a situation where you know you can be harmed, right? It was your choice, right? So you did it. And once that happens, you die, right? But then you resurrect, but you're no longer, you've basically traded your soul for this entity, right? And that's what's happened, is that a lot of individuals here on Earth are empty vessels, right? So demons can jump from place to place through negative shit, or some of them are just wide open because they're dumb. Not dumb, I shouldn't say that. They're not aware that any of this stuff is possible, so they just think, oh, well, it's because I have mood swings, or it's because she made me angry, or it's because he said something. No. Something is feeding off that negative energy and feeding off other people's negative energy, thus the parasitical relationships, right? So that's what's happened. And the individuals that have taken on this entity, right, it's like they're no longer themselves. Like, there are things that they just can't say or withstand because it's truth. So the only way they can exist is through a lie, right? And that lie is that nothing's happened to them. They're the same person. They are, you know what I mean? They didn't die. They haven't been taken over, anything like that, right? So more or less, the bigger the lie, the bigger the reward, right? So the more of this lie they can sell and make you believe, right, the more of your light they can steal, the more points they get on the board for this weird little game they're playing, all this stuff. But it's not all for naught. It's really just a test for the beings of light, because we're moving into this next dimension, right? And they can't exist there. You know, this race of spirit beings, if you will, they refuse to shift. They feed off negative stuff. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason that they exist. You know what I mean? Beings of light can't just manifest here. I mean, they can manifest within people, that light, but for the most part, it's up to us to carry that light, to do the things that need to be done for the betterment of humanity. It's up to light workers to do that, right? So if you go to like a sacred site, there will be, you know, like an ancient portal or something. You go there and there won't be, you can access the light dimensions and higher stuff, but there's always something dark guarding it. There's a dark entity guarding it. And if you go in there with fear, they're going to feed on that and they're going to react to it, just like, you know, if an aggressive dog senses your fear, you know, it's going to come at you and feed on that fear, attack you, whatever. It's the same thing. You treat them like a puppy dog and like a conscious being connected to everything, then we can work with them, right? So I was watching something about this guy Matías De Stefano, right? And he remembers everything. He remembers his ancient lives and stuff like that, and he knows what's going on. So he went around to these portals. Anyways, he went to one of these sacred sites, and he's like, okay, so we need to open this portal. I've been sent here to raise the vibration of the earth. Woo woo la la. They're like, okay, well, if you want to do that, we need these dark entities are like, well, if you want to do that, we need energy. And they're basically talked to him and his companions to manifest an earthquake, right? And they kind of went back and forth for a while, and then they said, you know, okay, we'll do it, but you know, we need this earthquake. He says, okay, well, that's fine, but no death. And they went back and forth about that for a while, you know, and then finally they come to the agreement that, all right, well, we're gonna manifest this earthquake for the energy to do the things that we need to do, right? Because with destruction comes new life. A couple days later, huge earthquake, right there where they were manifesting, right? Came through. No deaths. So, you know, I think that the people that have been taken over, right? I think maybe their souls, maybe they've transcended, maybe they're locked, can't go anywhere. They're under this control. They can't say certain things. They can only tell you so much information about what they're doing and why. But it's all for this greater purpose, right? Because truth seems to be singular, but what if it was that we all have individual truths, but they're leading us to the same place, right? What if that was the case? That would make a little bit more sense, wouldn't it? So, for instance, if you have this person that seems to be dragging you down, doing and saying and acting things, working with darker energies to get a rise out of you, to get you to react, to get you to explode or whatever. So yeah, they're trying to get energy from you, but really there's a lesson buried in there, and that is, it's all right. I'm on my path. My path is different, and I'm not going to react to this. I'm not going to give you this energy willingly, you know? So every time I've ever been, oh, there's my hawk, and he follows me everywhere. That's so awesome. I love that. I think that individually our paths are intertwined in this like yin-yang type relationship, and so, but we get so caught up in this matrix, in this daily grind, this crap, that it wants to kind of like scare us away from it altogether, right? And I've been there. I'm kind of there now, where it's like, why am I going to go to a same old, like I've been working at same old stupid grindy jobs my whole life, because somehow in the back of my mind I knew that I was supposed to do something bigger, greater, better. And so now I'm like, why am I going to go work at a place that's going to pay me peanuts, and their business is going to explode for that reason, and I'm just going to be, you know, that no one wants to pay me what I'm worth. So what's the point, right? Well, the point's this: if you can't overcome these obstacles, if you can't block out this negative, if you can't control your gift, you're not gonna you know what I mean? If something's gonna make you mad, I'm speaking from my own experience. If something pisses you off, and then, you play some low vibrational music, and you're just angry, and and then boom, here's a giant thunderstorm comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Hail, So many innocent people are gonna feel the wrath of your anger. It's misdirected. So how are you gonna be in a place of great power, a place of great responsibility, if you're gonna react like a child, throw a tantrum? I mean, at least that's what I'm starting to find about myself, is that no matter how much crap I'm put through, how much mental, emotional anguish I'm put through, I have to control that. I have to say, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. And so I try to walk with a path of indifference, but even that makes people mad, because I know what they are, I know what they're doing. So, but I'm kind of like getting ahead of it, like if I'm just indifferent, I'm still not moving forward. You know what I mean? So there's this balance that has to take place, right? And I'm still figuring this stuff out myself. Anyways, I want to touch on that because I was talking about how you can, some individuals are controlling animals through that spiritual enchantment, or whatever you want to call it, and that's how it's done. You know what I mean? It's not a new thing. There's nothing new under the sun, right? So it's not new. The demonic possession can only happen, it can only happen through your free will. So, and they're so subtle about it. They're like, oh yeah, you can have anything you want, but it's like no one's going to tell you directly, like, oh yeah, man, if you do this or let us do this to you, then you can have whatever you want. What you're doing is you're acting outside of yourself, something you would never do. You're doing that and you're allowing it through your own free will. And then once you go so far, it's like, well, you've already done it before. You know what I mean? You've already done this. You've already allowed this stuff to happen. So this is what you are now. This is what you got to do. And I think it has manifested in women through sex, and I think that it manifests in men through anger and violence, right? Now, that's not to say that everyone's had to kind of grow into their teeth, so to speak. Has anyone else noticed that? How over the past year and a half, 2 years, everyone's got crazy sharp teeth, their fangs. Isn't that nuts? What is that? So, I think that it manifests, that beast will manifest, but, sometimes you have to be a lion to be the lamb that you truly are. I'm sure that's not anything new, I'm sure, but Dave Chappelle's mother said that. I saw that on the Mark Twain thing, the Mark Twain Award. But it really resonated with me, man. So in a way, we all have this inner beast, this monster that just wants to fight and, or just tear shit up. But if you can't control that, if you're just doing it wantonly, then you're part of this. Then you're part of that destructive force, which it does not last forever, And I feel like everyone is capable of some kind of change. I know I've transformed in a very, very magical way. Things that I never thought I could ever turn my back on, I have. But it's once you do that, you get a little breather, you're like, okay, cool. But then, it just comes right back, It just comes right back. But, ascension is seeing the bigger picture. It's knowing what's right, knowing what's wrong. And if you have to do things that not necessarily are wrong, but you're kind of like putting yourself in harm's way for a greater good, that's okay. But if you're doing it for malicious self-gain, it's different. It's going to leave you stuck. And to go back with that lie, selling the lie, if that lie crumbles, that person, that spirit within them dies. You know what I mean? That whole thing is built on a lie that, oh, I am all these things. I'm all the things that I used to be, right? But I am not all the things that are hidden right in front of you. I'm not any of those things. But they'll like drop little tidbits like to let them know that, yeah, I am doing black magic. Yeah, I am doing these things. They'll put that stuff out there because now that you know in your heart, and they can continue with that lie, and you just keep buying that lie. You just gotta separate yourself from that. And I'm speaking this stuff out there into existence because I need to do that for myself. All the things, Bill Hicks is his it's just a ride thing. He's like, oh, these are my khakis. These are the, my bank account and my family. This all must be so real. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is real in some way, right? Maybe there's a lesson to be learned from there. But when your heart, when your soul is telling you, man, it's a big lie, go, 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 you got to listen to it, or your life's just going to be in this. I've been through this cycle already, and thank goodness I planted some good stuff so I can reap something back from it. But man, you've got to get away from that lie, no matter how bad it hurts. No matter how bad it hurts. I used to say something all the time, and I think it's from Fight Club maybe. I love quotes, but said, only when you've lost everything are you free to do anything. And I'm like, oh, well, I have lost everything. Yes, maybe I have. But have you walked away from it? Have you separated yourself from everything? Have you put yourself outside of your comfort zone and done the things you know that you're capable of? Right? You have to create that friction for yourself. And that's hard. It's hard, especially now because with all those people out there that did all these dirty, nasty things to build something for themselves, they're still out there and they're still hungry, So beware the setups, and don't be angry. Don't get angry at the individuals. Some of them are your family members, right, that have turned or changed, right? Don't be angry. They're a projection. They're a projection of what you want them to be, right? And the lesson there is that you can't change everyone. You can't, as bad as you want, like, the only thing you can change is yourself. And through changing yourself, you change your surroundings. Through changing your surroundings, the people around you will either change or leave. One of the two. Hopefully you can be some kind of an inspiration. But anyways, I guess that's all I wanted to put out there today. It's a lovely day. Always shine bright, speak your truth.